For $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
What's better than supporting your favorite radio station and eating delicious Nebraska-made products? Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska wants to highlight you, the listener, on the 93.7 The Ticket Wall of Fame at the store. Stop by the store at 48th and R in Lincoln and see their huge variety of small batch gourmet jerky. Or if you're not in the area and want to try some, go to smokinggunjerky.com and enter code EARLY for 10% off your purchase. It's the ultimate low-calorie, high-protein snack at Smoking Gun Jerky of Nebraska.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
That it is. Welcome in. Last show for the week. Glad you're along for the ride. Just Strick and Austin for now. Jay Foreman will be along before 2. Along with this is On the Block, brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Special ingredient butcher shop, 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha. Really appreciate them for all they do for us here on the show. E-Strick, what's good, partner? How we doing?
Yeah, man. Final show before the kickoff of the July 4th holiday. I know some of you guys have gotten your sparks and flies and all those wonderful surprises. And shout out to the winner. I can't remember the name who won on the show for us. They're going to have a big bang, I'm sure, for their 4th of July. And whatever you do, just be safe out there. Be careful. I might go hang out with my boy Sibo, since it's no WTF tonight. Obviously, the holiday as well. And we're constructing a few things. There's going to be some new news with that as well as some stuff we're building with it on through YouTube and different things like that. So, I'll keep you abreast on that. So other than that, man, everything is good. You can't beat the weather. Nope. Is there anything in the forecast? I haven't checked in the futures. Hopefully it doesn't get rained out or anything like that. No crazy storms pop in and pop out, similar to what happened over in Vegas. You hear about that crazy sandstorm?
Man. Star Wars stuff.
Right. Yeah, bro. Yeah, like
35% chance of rain tomorrow, 70% on Saturday.
There it is. It never fails. There it is. But good thing it's not tomorrow.
True.
tomorrow is that day. So, hopefully it'll be scattered and you won't get hit by it, and you can get out there and enjoy it and get some good sun and fun.
You ever had any close calls with fireworks?
I have not. I mean, when we were young, obviously you had the poppers. We had the little ones, you throw them, and sometimes we throw them at each other and stuff like that. But they've gotten very more dangerous. Let me just say that. Not very. They've gotten more dangerous than when I was coming up. I don't really get out there. I like to watch them. There'll be some that I can watch from my balcony that have some good displays, and I've been to some where the professionals do it. Cluster thinks he's a professional, so he'll go and buy the whole thing, him and his son, and they'll go out there and they'll launch them off in the street in their neighborhood. So I've been over to his house. I just don't play with him. I just don't, especially after what happened to JPP. He lost a few things.
That he did. Couple digits. No longer with him.
Not phone number digits.
No.
Yeah.
His actual digits. Yeah. That is why I don't mess with firecrackers. There for a while, I was, I'll sit back and let everyone else do it. But I'm like, you know what? It's fine. It can't be that bad. So, they just blew you off.
Yeah, they did.
Rude. Like artillery shells, fun to light off. The little like rose, ground bloom flowers, whatever. I can light those and chuck those smoke bombs, obviously. But firecrackers, I'm just always worried they're going to have too short of a fuse for me to actually light it and let it go. I do not mess with firecrackers.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't do it.
We had those ones where they would kind of and they would fizzle, and then you can hold them in your hand and do the
the sparklers.
Yeah, the little spark, stuff like that. You can play with, but yeah, man, I just don't mess with them M80s and those big boys.
Ben on our text line, brought to you by Starter Heyman Jeweler, says, I'm not sure what the statute of limitations is, so I'll have to be vague, but when I was a kid, we definitely dabbled in making our own fireworks, but some big old holes in the ground.
Yeah, bruh. Like, listen, I've watched enough. Let me turn these phones off because you know what normally happens around this time. I've watched enough of YouTube videos. And I don't have TikTok or anything like that, but X videos and stuff like that of people and the debacles and the things that happen. I can't get involved, so I'll let you guys be the Shacking Fools and be on all of those types of shows. I can't do it.
Have you seen the Put It in Reverse Terry video?
Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to send this to you so you can watch it over break because it is absolutely incredible. Ben in Lexington, just know that I see you. I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll have to see if I can get it recorded during break because it's one of the funniest things. Every fourth, put it in reverse, Terry. I'm trying. It's fantastic. So it's a guy in a motorized wheelchair trying to light
that's the one I saw. Yes.
Yeah.
I know
exactly.
Reverse, I know exactly. He just got stuck there, and then they started shooting all over. Yeah, I've seen that one. Those are the ones that they do it for me. Listen. There's some things we used to do. I don't know if kids today do these types of things. But I'm going to ask you because you're part of the younger generation compared to, where I came up. But there were things that we used to do, and especially for us, when we did it, I know for sure what it could have did to my dad. Like, if I would have gotten caught, my dad being an officer in the Air Force, how that could have probably affected him, us getting caught. But we used to do a thing back in the day, and I want to know what things you guys did in your teen years, your adolescence, and your high school years. We want to talk about it real quick before we jump into this topic. Check it out. We used to do what they call, I don't know what you guys call it, or if you guys call it anything. We used to do what they call ding and dong ditch.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And we used to do that. Sometimes we would have eggs.
Strangers or friends?
Strangers.
Yeah.
Sometimes we would have eggs. And then question is also, Austin, have you ever had your house TP'd? TP on my bung though.
No.
I've had it TP'd once, and I swore if I found out they were going to get it. But I haven't really. No, this is when I was in high school.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And it was happening. You'd be driving around the neighborhood, and you'd be like, "Ooh, somebody got it," and you just like hope that no one gets yours, and then all of a sudden somebody got you.
They got you.
And you have to do the clean work.
Right. No, I never had that happen, at least as far as I can remember. I remember one thing that we were getting ready to go to Chicago for a vacation, and some kids egged our house the night before we were going to leave. So I remember as we're trying to eat breakfast, get ready to go, there are some police officers in our house who's now getting our side of the story and whatever. I also know that this is my parents' house. And then also my parents' house was this last summer, 2 summers ago. They had some ding dong ditchers that lived kind of in the neighborhood, but a ways away. We're pretty sure that people that did this lived in the apartments that are, I don't know, mile and a half away, and then just rode their bikes in or whatever. They ding dong ditch for months. My parents finally get a doorbell with a camera on it. And then I don't think it was even a month later, one of the kids threw some rocks into the glass storm door and broke it. So I think that's the closest.
So that's what I was going to say next. Do you think the games have changed due to ring type cameras and due to people now have a little bit more anxiety and watchfulness as people ring doors now? And some people may come with a little
strapped
instruments.
Indeed.
Yeah. So it's a little more risk now than probably I would say back in the day. Like I've seen those videos. It's absolutely funny where, the people have gotten so good at these types of things and creative where, like, for example, it doesn't matter what sign it is, whether it was Trump signs or whether it was Harris signs. And more, I would say more. Let's just be honest. More on the Trump side, where people would come on their lawn. I've seen these videos, and they would try to steal or rip or
the signs,
take their signs. Right. Mm-hmm. So people started like putting electricity to them and doing different things to them. Right. That's just one piece. And so it's beyond just that part of it. But people have gotten creative with that. And so people go and get shocked and so forth and so on. But then there was other stuff where people are stealing packages off your front place, right?
Yeah.
And people started trapping people and putting like probably firecracker bombs, M80s in them, and they blow up. And I saw this one dude on himself after. And then I've seen guys come out with the Mouska tools. And you see the people quickly change their
minds.
Their minds.
Get to step.
Yeah. So there's a lot that comes with that now.
Back on our Starter Human Jewelers text line, Ben says, when I was in school, my friends and I used to do harmless pranks to each other's cars, soap on the windows, things like that. However, somebody took it way too far once. What do you think a step too far from soap on the windshield is, Strick? What's the next step?
When your car's super dirty and they start drawing all kinds of pictures and stuff on them, maybe? I don't know.
That's a good guess. Ben says, however, somebody took it way too far once and left an open jug of milk in someone's trunk while they were gone for a week during the summer. They were never able to get rid of the smell.
Can't get rid of it.
No, that's not going anywhere.
Oh, it gets all in the...
That reminds me of someone put an orange peel in the vent at school one time.
Was that terrible?
It was horrible.
Oh,
so bad.
Yeah, there's certain things. I think probably one of the worst things for that is if you wash your clothes and you forget and you like you say, you go out of town, you're washing clothes, you're just trying to get things tidied up before you leave and you go out of town for a week and then you come back and it's got that moldy. That's that thing you cannot get out. It doesn't matter how many times you wash it, you got to throw those away.
Oh, yeah. It's not coming out.
It's that smell. Yeah, that musty.
The musty.
Yeah, terrible.
Cubsker says his friends got TP'd growing up because it was rivalry week for the girls' softball team.
Say that again?
Cubsker's friends got TP'd because I guess one of the...
Oh, it was a rival.
It was a rivalry. Yeah. Did you ever do anything like that?
No.
To Bellevue East?
No.
Did they ever try to do anything like that to you?
I can't say that they did it. That was my next question is like, who was the worst prank when they, what was it? They stole something from Auburn or something like Alabama did? Or was it TCU? Who was that where
it was
they stole something that was like of importance?
I don't remember the story about stealing. I remember they poisoned the tree at Toomer's Corner.
Oh, right.
Yeah, after Iron Bowl. Like that tree's been TP'd so many times.
Oh.
But someone poisoned it at one point.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Here's this from Ben, too. Kids are way worse at pranks now because nobody gets punched in the mouth anymore. So kids take stuff way too far off the rip because they don't have a proper fear of consequences.
That could be true,
You
too.
feel?
I feel. That's what I'm saying. Like, would someone be wrong if they got hit with the mouse tool in those situations? Or is it the magnitude of the issue that would be at question? But another thing is you are trespassing on property.
Right.
And doing something nefarious.
Right.
But so I don't know.
I think reasonable force comes
reasonable, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if what the levels are, and even if it's been tested or questioned, even in a court of something of that magnitude.
Right.
Yeah. Because I mean, you've seen there's been all kinds of questions, Austin, even with people. This is the crazy part for me. Let's get into it. This is the crazy part for me is depending on what state you're in, someone comes in your house with a tool of some sort, get murkified, and they put you on trial. Like it depends. Literally depends on probably what state you're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's this. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy dynamic that the person that's gonna rob you gets more right because you don't know to what extent they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So you're just. It's just stuff I think about, Austin. Stuff like that. It blows me away when I see some of the contradictory things depending on where you live. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I was pretty intrigued by that situation that happened up in New York, where there was a specific individual that was talking about what he was about to do to people, and somebody just stepped up to defend the situation and ended up being a bad situation. Mm-hmm. And it's like, man, so I just think about those things like that. It's kind of wild.
It is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. How do we get
My brother's going to be a lawyer. He's going to start his third year of law school, and having some of those discussions with him. I like to pretend I'm an expert on that sort of thing. Very clearly, like there's so many situations where he wants to be black and white, right? This is how I saw it. This is what happened. They're the same thing. There's just so much gray area.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have the ability to get in someone else's head, to know what they're thinking, what they thought about doing. And some of this is you don't have time to think or react.
Right.
It is just react.
Yeah.
And it's hard to gauge, what you actually wanted to do, what you thought was going to go on in those situations when you're in the heat of the moment in a situation you've literally never faced before.
Yeah. And I think too, what sometimes creates a lot of those gray areas too. And this goes back to some discussions we have on the block. And that's what I love about what we do, Austin, is sometimes we don't just talk always sports. Sometimes we'll find a topic of discussion that can just really spark debate or, consciously raise your thinking on certain things, or even how you maybe thought about it, give you a different perspective or whatever. But like, there's other things like when you're going through, like for example, like the police stuff, right? And there are times where you can actually understand with the anxiety that comes with them having to deal with things, right?
Yeah.
But then you also have to look at the other side and say, dang, was that level warranted?
Right.
And then you have to really take into account, for me, when people start talking about specific, and again, I'm very apolitical, so don't don't take as I'm just a thinker. I'm a free thinker. But when I look at it in this perspective, like then all of a sudden you got people that go to a certain level that's matched by a certain response, or it puts others at a defensive and not wanting to make this. So when you talk about defunding, right? No.
Right.
I don't like that. I think when you talk defunding, it speaks. I say fund better training. More elaborate training. Don't speed someone through the training.
Don't push them through just
right?
You need
just
more.
To get you because you need more, right? So that's the way I look at it. Get more de-escalation trainings. Get them more in the field. Get VR. I mean, they got them for video games.
Right.
Run them through scenarios. Really test.
Right.
How their response is and what their anxiety levels are and stuff like that. Right.
You can measure that stuff.
You can measure that. So I say, give them more training.
I agree.
So those are some of the things I think about.
Yeah, I feel. Let's go ahead and talk like 2 minutes of sports before we go to break here, Stricky.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the 4th of July, who in the NBA has the best red, white, and blue color scheme, in your opinion?
In the NBA?
In the NBA.
I personally think like the Pistons are very bland.
Okay.
I think it's just very simplified.
But they
very
have some iconic moments.
Yeah. Yeah, but very blue collar. They don't they pretty much are like Boston. They stick pretty much to what it is. I'm still kind of perturbed, and I understand why they did it, that the Wizards changed their name from the Bullets but I understand just the kind. I actually like, because it did give you that kind of 4th of July kind of flow to it back when it was the Bullets. But so
I don't hate that they went to the Wizards. I hate that they went to red, white, and blue.
Right.
I know why they did it, but when I think Wizards, I think, MJ and Gilbert Arenas.
That was a different scheme.
Right.
But so I have to go with the Clippers.
Nice.
I think the Clippers, like even now,
they just rebranded, but they kept most of the same colors.
Yeah. So that's why, I think for them, it's crazy. Like initially I used to wonder, like, are you toenail clippers? Are you, you're a boat clipper. Oh, okay.
And the 76ers are in there.
Yeah.
Sixers.
Yeah. But that's old school. The old school Sixers.
Right. Well, then again, they were
very 4th of July. I can mess with them. Yeah. Yeah. So old school Sixers, yes, because they definitely gave you a brotherly love, very American-y, flow to it more than anybody of those teams.
I like the previous Clippers designs, but you got to knock the Clippers for just how bad they were in the early 2000s. Yeah. They lose some points there. I think the Pistons are probably the most iconic red, white, and blue, even if it is, to your point, pretty bland. And I really like what Philly's done recently. I'm there. NFL, Bills, Giants, Texans.
I think the Texans are most creative.
My man.
So I would go Texans.
I think the Giants are the most iconic.
Yeah.
And I hate what the Bills did with their red uniform.
Yeah.
If the Bills would have never introduced that red uniform, I'm about it.
You've been a minute.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Baseball, when you think red, white, and blue.
I personally probably would say, I think the Cubs to me is most iconic, but I would say the Blue Jays.
Ooh, okay.
I'd throw it off into the Blue Jays.
All right. I like it. Yeah, I think it's hard to argue against the Cubs with the red, white, and blue. Nationals, I don't mind. I kind of like their color scheme. But when I think red, white, and blue...
You're thinking Braves.
No.
Really?
Because the Braves that I picture are wearing their grays.
Ah.
I know that they have the navies, and I kind of like their red tops as well. I think of the Rangers.
Okay.
Those late 2000s, early 2010s Rangers teams. They're white
with
jerseys.
Gonzalez, like with Gonzalez when he was smashing.
Yeah,
back then.
Juan Gonzalez, right. But I'm also thinking like your Colby Lewis, Ian Kinsler, Mark Teixeira Rangers, a little after that era. Blue tops, red
Nolan
alternates, Ryan. I thought worked pretty well. Yeah, Ryan Express, whose name may or may not come up again today. Spoiler alert. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
I think the Rangers, the Cubs, and the Blue Jays, like the Blue Jays, man, on the low.
Yeah.
Okay, and then in college, Stricky, I think we got to pick between these four: UConn, Kansas, Arizona, Gonzaga.
I knew you was probably going to go there. I probably would go Kansas. I would go Kansas. Midwest flavor. It gives you a little bit of everything with a little bit of, powwow to it. Yeah, so I would go there.
It cannot be UConn. I just not seeing it. Sorry, Gonzaga. You're close. And I just despise Kansas. I just can't do it.
I figure you go AZ.
I got to go with Arizona.
Yeah.
Not the most history, not the most tradition, but some of those like mid 2010s Arizona uniforms that had kind of the gradient red and navy. Oh, those are some really good teams and some really good uniforms. So I know it's probably not popular. I think you're absolutely right. It probably the right answer is Kansas. I just can't bring myself to do it. So
Feel you.
let's go ahead and go to break. When we get back, LeBron James is about to make history when he and DeAndre Ayton share the court. That'll be the 9th number 1 overall pick that has shared the floor with LeBron James. Let's go ahead and talk through those 9 overall number 1 picks. Where were they at in their careers when they played with LeBron? Who do we think is the best former number 1 overall pick that LeBron has played with besides himself? We'll get into that during On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Juice Stop in Lincoln reminds listeners, salute and thank our troops when given the opportunity. From the early days of our country through 2 world wars and countless smaller conflicts, our armed forces have stood tall. Let's support our troops and their families. Let's honor them and veterans of past battles for all their sacrifices in defense of our great nation. This from Juice Stop in Lincoln, wishing Godspeed to our fighting men and women and thanking them for their triumphs and sacrifices.
Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left at once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Citizen soldier and veterans of the Army National Guard, you are invited to celebrate the 3rd of July at the Roca Tavern for a free concert by Sean Cole and the Drunk Monkeys. It all starts at 8 p.m., and it's sponsored by the City Car Wash on 3rd and Main in Hickman.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild will be open on the 4th of July, serving up our award-winning barbecue. Pick up a slab of slow-smoked ribs and a family pack on the way to your celebration. They come loaded with your choice of meats and sides, complete with buns and our famous Hog Wild sauce. Order online at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Bag up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. Put it in reverse. Oh, Lord, jeez. Oh, Lord. Oh, jeez. What you doing, Terry?
Oh, man.
What you doing there?
Oh, man.
For those of you who missed it in the first segment, that is the Put It in Reverse Terry video that Ben brought to our attention. Thanks a ton for that, Ben. This is On the Block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. Big thanks to Liquid Assets for their fun partnership with us here at the station. If you're hitting the links over the weekend, make sure you stop into Liquid Assets on 27th and Jamie Lane when you're done. They've got like 23 beers on tap. I think they have like 32 TVs, I believe was the final official count. Separate high-end bar for your bourbons and your whiskeys. And one of the best food menus of any establishment in town. Chef Dana does a fantastic job for them. It's Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill, 27th and Jamie Lane. All right, Stricky, number 1 overall picks to play with LeBron James. Off the top of your head, can you name them?
Okay. How many is them?
9 of them, including DeAndre Ayton. So I'll give you 1. So 8 others.
So it's definitely Shaq in Cleveland.
Shaq.
Kyrie Cleveland.
Anthony
Davis.
AD.
Andrew Bogut.
For 1 game.
Number 1. I said Shaq, right?
You said Shaq.
L.A. Dwight Howard.
L.A. Dwight, yep. Then you have 2 big men and a guard.
Wasn't D. Rose in
in Cleveland?
Cavs?
Yep, second stint. So 2 big men. One was in Miami, one was in Cleveland. The last year of Greg Oden's career.
Oh. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, Bron's last year in Miami. That was Greg Oden's final year in the league. They shared the court for like 20 games.
Okay.
And then your boy.
My boy.
Joe Beast.
The Beast?
Joe Beast.
Where?
Cleveland.
Was he?
08-09.
Wow. The Beast. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Schmitty Bop.
There you go. So, who, in your opinion, is the best fellow number 1 overall pick that LeBron has played with?
All right. So for me, it's going to be amongst 2 people. One, I would say, has a very good play for it. It's a 1A, 1B, but I think 1's probably a little bit better.
Okay.
Because they both won championships together.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was still kind of in his young phase. But I got to be honest. To me, both of them, if it's not for their presence, they don't win.
I agree.
So I'm going to say the number 2 would have been Kyrie.
Okay.
And I'm going to say number 1, Anthony Davis.
Why do you put Kyrie at 2 and AD at 1?
When you look at everything being equal, it's not too far off. You're talking about their regular season scoring averages: 27 for LeBron, 24 for Kyrie, 10 field goals made for LeBron, 9 for Kyrie. Very similar in attempted, only one off there. Kyrie's made more threes, but on more attempts. And, free throws aren't off but a point. Temps were up, but Kyrie's averages are a little bit lower. And then you get into the rebound parts, then, obviously it's going to be LeBron dominated. So you look at that part, and he'll win in the assist battle. Just LeBron has a high usage rate, so you probably get more there. That's what you see in that comparison. But you go on the other side, very similar. Only 3 points off in scoring for Anthony Davis and LeBron in the regular season. Both have attempted dang near the same, only 1 point off there too, 10 and 9. Attempts only 2 off. He's going to make more threes. He's going to take more. He took 5 threes to his 2. So obviously that's the case. Free throws were equal. Attempts equal. Now the rebound's going to be in Davis's favor there. Assists going to be in LeBron's favor. Steals are pretty equal. That's why I say, because when you look at the total package of what AD was to LeBron's success, and you look at some of the stuff that he did in the bubble to get them the championship, if he doesn't perform at that super all-star Hall of Fame level, they don't win. They don't win the bubble. So that's why I've got to give him the credit for the time that he spent with him, playing out of position. He sacrificed a lot, but he performed when he was healthy.
It's the health that made me think I was going to have Kyrie number 1.
Yeah.
Because, young Kyrie was balling in Cleveland.
Facts.
Think about when Kyrie got drafted number 1 overall, comes in. LeBron had just left, and then they get the number 1 overall pick. Kyrie had assumed that mantle of leadership, and he'd been playing some pretty good basketball. Clearly not the best version of Kyrie that he became, in the mid to later part of his career where he is now. That was a one and done at Duke, who came off an injury and produced pretty much from day one in the NBA. But Strick, when I looked at just the accomplishments, they both won a title with LeBron. I probably give the nod for the iconic moment to Kyrie. That 2015-16 championship, how Kyrie and LeBron really two-man gamed Golden State to death in those last couple games to win it for Cleveland. Kyrie's wing 3 to really help put Cleveland up late in that series. Decent defense, actually, on Steph Curry a couple times. Because of 15-16 and because of the health, I really thought that I was going to go with Kyrie Irving over Anthony Davis. But while LeBron was in Cleveland for that second stint, Kyrie Irving was an all-star twice and made third-team All-NBA 1 year. Was hurt, only played 53 games in the middle year of that tenure. But then you look at what Anthony Davis accomplished in LA. Obviously, the bubble title, like you said. AD has been an all-star 4 times, playing with LeBron. 2-time all-defensive team, first team. Got MVP votes, finished 6th in 2019-20, and has finished in the top 4 for Defensive Player of the Year twice, 4th and runner-up. AD's been better, which is weird to say for the reputation that he has. AD, I think, has been pretty clearly the best number 1 overall pick LeBron has played with, despite the health issues and despite the asterisk you want to put by the title.
Yeah. Even
more than that, I was surprised that I have to probably give Dwight Howard the nod for number 3.
I think I'd have to agree with you. Now, so this is the question that comes into play. Are you looking at the total body of work?
I'm saying just when they were teammates with
when
LeBron.
they were together.
Yes.
I agree, because I think D Rose was kind of on the tail end of that run for himself
and got hurt.
Odin was on the way. Shaq was definitely not. It was a former shell of himself.
Shaq played 53 games with LeBron in Cleveland in 2009-2010. Shaq was 37 years old only scored double-digit points 14 times.
Yeah, he was a former shell of himself. And Joe was on the tail end of his outro. Bogut the same. Bogut's best run was definitely in Golden State.
Oh, yeah.
So he was on the tail end of himself on the way out, too. So I think I'd have to agree with you because I would have to say that Dwight, in some of those playoffs runs, when they needed him, he showed up.
Yeah.
Big rebounds, big blocks, big dunks.
He was on that title team in the bubble.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'd have to agree with you.
Do you think
and I think he helped alleviate some of that pressure off of Anthony.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
when those two play together. Yeah.
Letting him play the four instead of the five.
Yeah.
Do you think DeAndre Ayton will pass Dwight Howard? Dwight only played 2 years with LeBron. It was 2019 and 2020. 129 games and 29 starts in those 2 years. Ayton's going to start. We know that for the Lakers. Do you think he's going to end up being a better number 1 overall pick that played with LeBron than Dwight Howard? I don't think there's any way he catches Kyrie for number 2.
Yeah, I don't. I've got to say it just depends on actually Aiden's mentality. Are you going to get a form of the Phoenix Aiden, even though they didn't like him, but for what they needed him in a different light. They needed him to be more aggressive. They needed him to be, when I get you this rock down there, I need you to get something. That's not going to actually be what they need for him there. They're going to need him to be a lob threat. They're going to need him to be able to finish.
Rebound.
You know, so it's going to be a different usage for him. So to me, is he going to accept the role? Is his mentality going to be or of understanding, or is he going to get lost in the stars of what LA, the whole, LA, I'm trying to think of a good word for it, but the whole Hollywood,
glam, mystique.
What form are you going to get? You can go up into Portland. You can get lost in the sauce of it just being, like Portland's super rainy, it's dreary, it's meh type flow. Beautiful city though.
Oh yeah.
But you can get up there and you can kind of focus a little bit because it is what it is.
Ain't nothing to do with basketball up there.
Yeah. But you get to LA, you him, you them.
Do you think JJ Redick is the right coach to bring some more focus out of DeAndre Ayton?
I'm still not sold on him at this point. He's got still some stuff to show me. I think he's going to take into account the lessons that he learned over the previous year, and that's the way he played. I think he grew, he developed, and if he takes the same onus in the coaching career, then he could. He's capable of doing so.
Do you think LeBron and Luka can bring more focus out of DeAndre Ayton?
I think Luka's going to demand it, and I think LeBron's just at a point where if it doesn't happen, he's just whatever.
I got my 52-6. I'm good.
Yeah, he'll go pout and sit on the bench, and maybe not run down, not chase the balls like he did against Iguodala.
Pause.
Oh, pause.
Jeez,
Eric,
man. Jeez,
pause.
man.
Yeah, that part.
I just don't love the fit for DeAndre Ayton because he's a guy strict that, some people were saying he was the next Patrick Ewing coming out of Arizona with how he was able to score in the low post, footwork, hands, even some defensive ability as well. Never grew into that in Phoenix, but I also don't think it was ever his franchise.
And I don't think they developed him well.
No, absolutely not.
I think there was bad development there. Go ahead.
Absolutely. But you saw him pick it up in Phoenix in a contract year.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I worry about. It's a 2-year deal for him.
Yeah.
He just strikes me as a guy that's going to be motivated to play well when it suits him. And I don't know what role is going to be best for him because he's not a good enough scorer or threat in the low post that you're going to grind an offense with Luka and LeBron to a halt just to get DeAndre Ayton his shots.
And that's what I mean by, is there going to be frustration or is he going to embrace the role? We just don't know. And that's why.
Which is where my hope
is. I think Dwight does. I think Dwight knew what he was compared to where he was in Orlando compared to what he was used for there. I think he embraced the role.
And I don't think it's too late for DeAndre Ayton. I just don't have faith that he's going to do it. Yeah. Because you would think this would be the simplest way for him to make a bunch of money in his career is say, oh my gosh, I got to get my head screwed on straight. I'm playing with LeBron. I'm playing with Luka. Here's my chance to be the best version of me defensively, anchor the middle for a mediocre perimeter defense, catch my lobs, rebound. You know what? I'll set myself up for that big contract in 2 years.
That's it. I mean, that's the way, if you approach it with that mentality, Austin, I agree. I think if his agent isn't telling him that, or he's not getting good counsel towards what you just said, then it's unfortunate. I'd fire my guy.
I absolutely would too. I hope for his sake that it happens, not necessarily rooting for the Lakers by any stretch of the imagination, but it's all in front of him. It's all in front of him if he wants to take it. Also in front of you, a date at Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane in South Lincoln. They've got 30 TVs showing all the MLB games. They've got golf on as well. 23 beers on tap, a high-end bourbon and whiskey bar, and an incredible menu of burgers, sandwiches, and more. Plus the new cookie skillet, chocolate chip cookie skillet, in fact, for dessert. That's Liquid Asset Sports Bar and Grill, 2755 Jamie Lane. We are going to go to break. When we get back, we're playing the shootout with Strick. Strick, you put Jay on the hot seat yesterday. You're on the hot seat today. We'll play the game show. That's how we'll wrap up hour one of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Noticing more dust at home? It may be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Breathe easy and healthy. Call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild will be open on the 4th of July, serving up our award-winning barbecue. Pick up a slab of slow-smoked ribs and a family pack on the way to your celebration. They come loaded with your choice of meats and sides, complete with buns and our famous Hog Wild sauce. Order online at gohogwild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through July 6th, enjoy all-natural whole pork butt for $1.99 per pound. Lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat. Buy 5, get 5 free on original brat patties and beef short ribs for $6.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine. It'll be breezy and hot with an afternoon high near 94. Tonight, clear skies, continued breeze, a low around 72. And tomorrow, a chance of showers and storms in the afternoon. Otherwise, mainly sunny and breezy with the high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clutcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through July 6th, enjoy all-natural whole pork butt for $1.99 per pound. Lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat. Buy 5, get 5 free on original brat patties and beef short ribs for $6.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
It's never too late to start protecting your company's data from cyber attacks. Your customers put their trust in you to keep their information safe from online threats. Don't let them down. Partner with Hamilton Business Technologies to get real-time threat monitoring, advanced security protocols, and experts who monitor it all for you. We care about the success of your business and the communities you serve. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Connect with us at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
The game is the Shootout with Strick. It's how we wrap up hour one of On Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. E-Strick, how you feeling today?
Doing good.
Jay Foreman put up a win yesterday. If I told you it was a Major League Baseball category again, how would you feel about your chances?
Not as good as his, that's for sure.
We'll have to see. Let's go to our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Let's welcome in Dave. Dave, how's it going today?
Fighting the heat.
As we all are. We got baseball for you today, Dave, so hold on the line. We'll give Strick his questions first, then we'll get to you. Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Stricky, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He recorded his 4,000th strikeout in the same game he recorded his 300th win. Cy Young or Roger Clemens?
Cy.
It was Clemens. He recorded more career strikeouts. John Smoltz or Greg Maddux?
Smoltz.
It was Maddux. He never led his league in strikeouts. Don Sutton or Tom Seaver?
Sutton.
It was Sutton. And which Hall of Famer did Nolan Ryan strike out to record his 5,000th career strikeout?
Albert Pujols.
The guess is Albert Pujols. Incorrect. This player liked him some him. Stolen base king. Ricky Henderson. Shoot. Ricky Henderson was the victim of Nolan Ryan's 5,000th career strikeout. All right, Dave, you need 1 to tie. You need 2 or more to win. Are you ready for your round of the shootout?
We'll give it a shot.
All right, your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He was the fastest pitcher to record 3,000 career strikeouts. Randy Johnson or Steve Carlson?
I'm going to go with Randy Johnson.
Yes, he has more career strikeouts. Max Scherzer or Justin Verlander?
Verlander.
Yep, this knuckleballer joined the 3,000 strikeout club on July 4th. Phil Niekro or Joe Niekro?
Phil.
It was Phil, and he was the first pitcher to record 3,000 career strikeouts.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb is a hitter, not a pitcher, but Dave, it doesn't matter. You win the game.
Give me a hell yeah.
Yeah.
I said give me a hell yeah.
The answer, Walter Johnson with the Washington Senators. back in the day. Dave, congratulations on the win. Hold on the line. We'll get you hooked up with $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Thank you much.
You betcha.
I mean, hey, good guesses, just wasn't the right ones.
Stricky, who recorded his 3,000th career strikeout last night?
Clayton Kershaw?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I would have known that one.
Yeah, that's I was going to be too easy, so I couldn't give you that one. But I'll ask you the tiebreaker question just for kicks and gigs here before our guy, Uncle Kev, Kevin Meyer of Meyer's Cork and Bottle, joins us. Strick, how many Major League Baseball pitchers have recorded 3,000 strikeouts with a single franchise? 3,000 strikeouts with a single MLB franchise. I will give you that Kershaw is one of them.
Randy Johnson?
Not Randy Johnson. Did not do it with one franchise.
Tom Glavine?
Not Tom Glavine. He bounced around a little bit. So Walter Johnson did it with the Senators. And there's one more with a Nebraska tie.
Jabba?
No, not Jabba. Older. Dead ball era. From Omaha.
Right. Cardinals.
Yes. What's his name?
Gosh,
what's his name, Strick? You can do it.
Bro.
You can do it.
Oh, man.
BG.
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson.
I didn't know Bob got that done. That's dope.
Yeah, 20 players to do it. 3 of them recorded them all with a single franchise. I know you're a lefty. How many lefties are in the 3,000 strikeout club? 20 pitchers have done it. How many of them are lefties?
9.
4.
Oh.
4 of them.
Yeah.
I think it was Kershaw, Sabathia, Carlton, and Johnson.
Carlton?
Steve Carlton. Randy
wow.
Johnson. Clayton Kershaw. And CC Sabathia.
Oh. Okay, CC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more longevity than dominance, but he had his moments.
Yeah, he had his moments.
Longevity and dominance, Meyer's Cork and Bottle. They've been on the corner of 13th and South for a while. Let's tell you about them. What they're doing for July 4th, what you can get at the store to start hour 2 of On the Block.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through July 6th, enjoy all-natural whole pork butt for $1.99 per pound. Lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat. Buy 5, get 5 free on original brat patties and beef short ribs for $6.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village. Attention baseball and softball players. The Nebraska Dominators are looking to add players to their baseball and softball teams for the 2026 season. Tryouts are happening now for all age groups, ranging from 7 years old to 14 and under for baseball and 7 years old to 18 and under for softball. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more information today.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
9.3.
9.3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo.
That's high praise. I would give it probably, maybe an 8.8. But alas, here we are.
Stricky's going to give the wine a 3.9. I'm going to really enjoy it. That's okay. This is Thirsty Thursday during On the Block. Us, Norman, Eric Strickland, and the man in the middle, Kevin Meyer. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing solid, fellas. How are you?
Good. Been a good day here on the block. Last time we saw you was not 1 week ago today. It was 1 week ago tomorrow. You were taking hacks down on the field.
Some daddy hacks, yeah, with the Salt Dogs.
How would you grade your performance? How do you feel after it?
Well, that's a tough call because I actually made better contact than I thought I would.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple base knocks. I didn't whiff on too many. I don't think I whiffed any. The meniscus was playing dueling banjos for a couple of days. So for not swinging a bat in probably close to 30 years, I'd give it a solid B+. And I don't know how I looked, but
you had some good cuts.
I saw the video and I'm like, how am I that old? Like that was the number one thing. I was like, how is my belly that big and how am I that old? That's basically what I took out of it. But I had a few cuts.
It's where the power comes from, right?
Right. Yeah, you got to just get the momentum going in the right direction.
The real question is, how impressed was your wife? You brought her along.
My wife is not impressed by anything that I do. So, let's just say,
not even grilling.
We did grill up some really good steaks last night. So I did get some praise from that, but she bought them and picked them out. And so really, I mean, it all boils down to the quality of meat. It's just more or less up to me not to ruin it. So I allowed myself that grace to at least not ruin the really good cut of meat that my wife bought. So
would you see yourself coming back for more BP with DP, or are you satisfied to leave the batter's box on the note that you did?
I 100% would go back and do BP.
Yes.
I want to do it every week. I had so much fun and I want to get better.
Right?
Again,
it's kind of like that thing, right? When you go and like, if you're a golfer, right? And you go and play a round of golf and you're struggling throughout the round. And then your last two holes, you freaking birdie and par or par birdie or something. It like makes you want to come back out there.
Yeah, I'm back, baby. I got this.
Right?
I got this.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing about golf is every time you think you have it figured out, the golf gods go,
Yeah.
no, you don't.
No, you don't. No, you
Time
don't.
to humble you again, sir.
Facts.
You didn't learn the lesson last time.
Right.
Here
We
it comes again.
let you think that you had something figured out, and now we're going to remind you that you don't. So
Well,
I feel like hitting is also like an exercise in just kind of like masochism.
Fair.
Where
Fair.
it's like it doesn't matter how good your swing is, you want to tweak this or drop the hand or the elbow, or you want to generate more power, or turn the hips or whatever it is, and it's just sort of like this endless cycle of non-perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And if you
go 3 for 10,
you go for 3 for
Killer.
10, that's a Hall of Fame career right there, baby. So
heck yeah. Myers Cork and Bottles had a Hall of Fame career down at 13th and South. What's your deal tonight and tomorrow for 4th of July?
So we're open regular hours tonight till 10 p.m. and then we're going to be open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow, and then regular hours again on Saturday and Sunday. So it's a great time to stop in and stock up on all of your 4th of July libations, and come see the smiling staff at Myers Cork and Bottle.
What are we libating on today? Is that a word?
Yes, sure, it is now.
Strictionary libating.
For sure. I think we ought to do the wine first, because I think the beer might be a little bit sweet and it might throw the wine off. So this is a winery called Honig, and they are in Napa Valley. And I actually met Michael Honig 22 years ago. Really cool guy. And he, at the time, was sort of frustrated with winemaking. He said, I do all of this stuff to grow the best grapes I possibly can. My land is suited for Cabernet and Sauvignon Blanc. And so that's all I'm going to grow. I'm not going to grow Chardonnay. I'm not going to grow Pinot Noir because, my land isn't suited for it. He said, but for some reason, my wines are unstable when I'm making them. And then a couple years go by, I met him again.
What does he mean by unstable?
Well, so you can get stuck fermentation where it just stops. It just for no reason.
Yeah.
CO2 spikes. You can over SO2, sulfur dioxide. It's a preservative that they put in the wine when it goes into barrel. There's so many different factors. And so he's like, I just wanted to make my wines more sustainable. So instead of spraying to pollinate the vines, he found this lady in Napa that has honeybees. And so she brings her bees out to the vineyards and lets them free, and the bees pollinate the vineyards, and then she collects them all back up, and away they go. And then instead of spraying for weeds, he found this guy that has goats. And I said, well, don't they eat the grapes? And he goes, well, that's the funny thing. They're pygmy goats, so their legs are only this long. They can't reach them. And so when they eat the weeds, they actually pull them out by the root. And he's like, so now that I quit spraying for all this stuff and doing all these artificial methods, I'm doing things naturally. My wines taste better. They last longer. I can set it and forget it when I'm making the wine. And I've noticed that as well. So it's been one of my favorite Napa wineries for, like I said, for 20 years. And this is the Sauvignon Blanc.
So just to reiterate, this dude brings in a beekeeper with her bees, sets them loose, and then brings in a herd of pygmy goats.
Pygmy goats, yes.
And says, go to town.
Have at it. Yeah.
Every year for 20 years.
Every year for 20 years. And probably multiple times a year as well. Because, those weeds come back and whatnot. But this is a Sauvignon Blanc, which generally doesn't see time in oak, or if it does see oak, it's neutral oak. So those are barrels that have been used over and over again. And so it's meant to be crisp and clean and citrusy and dry and refreshing.
Yeah.
And
I don't normally drink wine, but it's smooth.
You mean
white wine?
Yeah, I know you're a red guy, and I am too. But when it's 90 plus outside, something chilled tastes pretty darn good. And something like this, I like the fact that it has that sort of honeyish tone, a little bit of melon. And when I think of a wine like this, I think like a Asian grilled shrimp, with a glaze on there, so it's a little bit sweet and spicy at the same time. I think something like that would be outstanding.
I am missing the melon notes and melon hints. Where are you getting that?
So maybe not quite cantaloupe, but like a green melon.
Okay.
Take another sip and just it's more on the finish. And but again, tastes are so subjective. What tastes one way to me might taste a different way to you, and then also just verbalizing what it is that you're tasting can be the most difficult component of all of it. So
maybe I'm easily suggestible. I do kind of get it now that I know what I'm looking for.
But it's just super fresh,
subtle, fresh, yes,
and
crisp. Absolutely comes.
It's
to
definitely
mind.
crisp,
super clean.
Yeah.
And these are on the shelf every day, $25. All estate grown, meaning that he's not sourcing grapes from his neighbors or various growers throughout the region. He only makes wine from what he grows himself. So it really has his signature fingerprint on it from start to finish. And for a wine of this quality from Napa Valley to be all estate grown in the production level that he does and still be on the shelf for $25 is getting harder and harder to do. So props to Michael Honig. He still sends me a Christmas
and
card
so
every
he's
year.
not as frustrated as he was. He's
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
gotten,
No, he's gotten better, and his wines are better, and they're certainly more stable and very, very ageable too. His cab is just rock star.
You're on Christmas card status with a Napa winemaker.
I am. Yeah. Yeah. Good old me and Michael Honig.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Interesting flex. I like
It
that
is an
for you.
interesting flex.
That's
It's
pretty
not
cool.
really even a flex. It's
No,
just-
that's a flex.
He sends me whenever you're.
That's pretty cool. While you're sipping your wine, I would like you to come over here and take a look if you recognize this phone number for me. Because a text we got says Kevin's wife is his biggest fan. Do you recognize that phone number? We will not put it out on air, but
in fact, I do recognize that, and that is my wife. Yes.
That is her.
Mrs. Uncle Kev, thank you so much for listening. And
Mrs. Uncle. That would be Aunt Sarah.
Aunt Sarah, yes.
Right. Right.
Aunt Sarah.
Thank you, Aunt Sarah. I appreciate you chiming in.
Big grill girl. Gal.
There you go.
Big grill
Yeah,
gal.
I like it.
Yeah.
Big grill woman.
That part.
I'm a fan of this. This way it is crisp. You did say dry, and I think for a white, it's dry because it's not like overly sweet, but I don't get like the dry red vibes from it. Like drier end for a white, but maybe not what I would consider like dry in my head at least.
Well, just because it's dry doesn't mean that it needs to have bite. And essentially what dryness is the absence of sugar. So
Gotcha.
when you when you start with the raw juice, it's actually very sweet. And you introduce yeast, and the yeast consumes that sugar and ferments into carbon dioxide and into alcohol. The CO2 is allowed to evaporate into the ether, and the alcohol stays put. So basically, once the product is finished, and pretty much you can tell by alcohol percentage, once it gets over about 13.5%, you know that that's going to be a dry wine, because there's very little RS or residual sugar left over after that. So the ABV on this one is I'm guessing about 13.5. I'm not really finding it right now on the label, but I also don't have my glasses on.
Maybe you can get Michael Honig to send you a Christmas card with the ABV of his Sauvignon Blanc on it this year.
I'm guessing somewhere between 13.5 and 14. 14 seems a little hot for a Sauv Blanc.
Fair enough. All right. Bomb Pop Blonde Ale
from
a cool looking can.
Yeah, I was trying to be topical and stick with the 4th of July theme. Nothing tastes better on a cold or a hot summer day than a cold Bomb Pop. Do you have an ice cream man when you were growing up?
Oh yeah,
sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that dude would purposely make us chase him, or like drive an extra,
make you work for it.
He would hit drive an extra block and a half, and we're just going, ice cream man, please stop. And a good Bomb Pop on a hot July day is certainly hits the spot and brings back a lot of nostalgia. So they made a beer, Infusion Brewing out of Omaha. I believe they're in Benson. Their signature beer is called Vanilla Bean Blonde, and this is a Bomb Pop version of that. So like I said, I thought it was probably going to be kind of sweet. It's probably going to either be really bad or really good. I don't think there's going to be a lot of middle ground here.
You can smell the Bomb Pop when you lift it up to your nose. You can smell the sweet.
You sure
At
can.
least I could.
Yeah,
that's not bad. It's good brew.
It smells like it's sweeter than it actually is.
Right.
Yeah.
So most of the Bomb Pop, I think, is from the aromatics and less of the actual flavor. But it's actually pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's not bad.
It's
a good July 4th beer.
Right. So I don't know if I would have 2 or 3 of them, but trying it once is certainly worth it.
Stricky, does it taste to you like they just melted down a Bomb Pop and put it in the beer? What does it taste like to you?
In a way, like it was dipped and frozen or something like that. It's got that kind of crisp, smooth taste, but you definitely don't miss, like you said, the beer aspect of it. You get that, with just a hint of like the taste of the bomb pop, if you can remember what those taste like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your favorite color in the bomb pop?
Probably the blue.
Yeah.
The blue.
Because it went red, white, blue, top to bottom, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was like that middle ground, like the halfway through the white to halfway through the blue.
I'm feeling you there. I think the white secretly gets a bad rap.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. What flavor was the white supposed to be?
I don't know. That's the weird part. Because, I mean, obviously the red's supposed to be like cherry.
Right.
The blue is probably like blue raspberry.
It is blue raspberry. Okay. Any guesses for what white could be? This is official here. The classic bomb pop.
Come on, man.
What do you think, Stricky? What do you think?
No. We're not doing that. Because
Taking
he
guesses.
went into his whatever you call it, and he
My
called
bomb
out
pop sommelier.
he called out exactly what it was by the taste. His palate is definitely better than Stricky's.
I'm
I'm
going
deferring.
lemonade.
It is not lemonade, but you're in the right neighborhood.
Limeade?
Lime.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that.
Okay, Kevy, I see you was in the in the house
I was
a
in the
little bit
ballpark,
in the
yeah.
ballpark,
Right.
like you was when you hit those balls. Pause.
Yeah, they also
They
have
don't even
bomb
have
pops
warning
that
track
are
power anymore.
blue, pink, and green.
That's sacrilege.
It is, but it's blueberry, strawberry, and watermelon.
Okay, I
that's
wouldn't
like-
hate that.
That's like fruit salad.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's sacrilege, but you could tempt me with a good time.
I would certainly try it just like I would try the bomb pop beer.
Yeah, it is good.
Infusion, you said, out of Benson? Fusion Brewing?
Yes, indeed, I did.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. What's on the grill for 4th of July? What are you doing?
Well, I think I'm gonna do this weekend. I'm gonna go get another tri-tip and do that. That turned out really good.
Nice.
It was almost like brisket, and then my wife dials up a really, really good homemade chimichurri. She actually adds some jalapeno in it to give it some kick. So we're planning on that. We did some really good tenderloins last night, and then for 4th of July, we go over to the in-laws, and I purposefully starve myself so I can load up on fried chicken and cowboy beans.
Oh,
it's so good.
Nice.
I eat fried chicken once a year, and it's always the 4th of July, and it's like the number one thing that I look forward to.
So do you just associate 4th of July with fried chicken now?
I do, yeah. It's pretty much what I think about when I think about 4th of July.
Stricky, when you say 4th of July, what food comes to mind?
Burgers and brats.
Like tailgate food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically burgers and brats with sauerkraut and
You're a sauerkraut guy?
no,
Okay, I was going to say.
but that's what I think about. And
Like-
or relish.
You a relish guy?
I can do relish.
The dill relish or the sweet relish?
Sweet.
Okay. I like the dill, and I like the brown mustard more than I like the yellow mustard.
Do you?
You're a Grey Poupon
See,
guy?
yeah, he's Grey
Big
Poupon.
Grey
He's
Poupon guy.
Bougetto.
Big Grey Poupon
Straight
guy.
Bougetto. I like a straight
I'm
yellow.
as blue collar as they get.
Well, you can only say that because you're wearing a blue collar
Right,
today.
right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I almost threw
No,
my cap on that.
Just spicy brown mustard. It's not Grey Poupon.
Grey Poupon.
Those are some of the best commercials.
Those
back
were
in the
great
day, right?
commercials back in the day.
What do you? I assume you would need to take some time to pair something with Grey Poupon with a French wine. Like what would you pair like a French dish with like some Grey Poupon?
I couldn't do it. It's too
With like what
mustard.
kind of wine are you pairing with
Well,
something that has Grey Poupon?
I think you pair it with the protein. You don't pair it with the mustard.
Well,
The mustard is just a garnish.
but what protein would go with the garnish of the Grey Poupon?
I think you would have to do some sort of like,
Filet mignon?
Italian sausage.
Oh wow.
I mean, they're famous for
Ooh.
all of that with the
Interesting.
capicola and they love all their cured meats and whatnot. So I think that would, that with a nice Italian red would be a good way to go.
Fair enough. Well,
There he
Kevin,
is.
we'll
Or
let you
German.
go. We'll
Yeah,
let you get.
Germans do a lot of that too.
They do.
Yeah.
You're not going back to the store, right? You're done.
I'm done. I'm headed
Nice.
out. Yeah.
We'll get you out of here. Enjoy your weekend. Destroy some fried chicken.
Oh, I'm going to delete some of that.
Good. Good answer.
All right, fellas. I appreciate you.
Yes,
Happy Fourth.
sir.
Myers Cork
Be
and
safe.
Bottle, 13th and South. Indeed, be safe. We'll be back. Welcome in Jay Foreman for the rest of On the Block.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had roofing service company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Citizen soldier and veterans of the Army National Guard, you are invited to celebrate the 3rd of July at the Roca Tavern for a free concert by Sean Cole and the Drunk Monkeys. It all starts at 8 p.m. and it's sponsored by the City Car Wash on 3rd and Main in Hickman.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Make your move fun and easy with the help of Movers and Shakers. Movers and Shakers is homegrown, female-led, and ready to help make your transition to a new space as seamless as possible. They excel at residential and commercial moving jobs, as well as offer home cleanouts and junk removal services. Moving into a new place is stressful enough, so let Movers and Shakers ease the transition. Give them a call today at 712-899-6265 or book your move online at www.moversandShakersNE.com today.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back into On the Block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, now joined by Jay Foreman. This segment of the show brought to you by Heartland of Nebraska Windows. Based in Hallam, Nebraska, they offer free estimates, full window replacements, all vinyl triple pane windows, and a lifetime warranty on everything while keeping their prices affordable. They're locally and family owned with their own team of installers. Give Heartland of Nebraska Windows a call today for more info. You can do that at 402-430-3852 or by visiting them online at heartlandofnebraskawindows.com. What's up, Jay?
What's happening?
Welcome to the show. We're going to put you on the spot here.
What you need? You need me to win again?
No.
Did you hold on? Did you win?
No, sir.
He got.
Got.
Dave got him.
Hey, did you get blown out though?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't a blowout.
Yeah.
It was 2-1.
Oh,
3-1, I think.
Yeah,
2-1, 3-1.
good. Yeah, that's good. That's respectable. Well, it's not a gentleman's sweep.
No.
Yeah.
All right, Jay. Tomorrow's the 4th of July.
It is.
You donned the uniform of 3 different teams in the NFL that wore red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Which of those 3 teams do you think has the best red, white, and blue color scheme?
Oh man, Buffalo. Buffalo for sure.
That's a biased statement.
Giants, quick second. Strick, I played for all of them.
It's a biased statement.
Giants, close second. I like the old school Giants uniforms when LT played with the Giants on. I like that.
You like that one?
Yeah.
With the not the NY though. The actual
I like
Giants.
that. I like that one, but I like the old school one, even when they had the white face mask. Because it just reminded me of Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Remember that time you got his locker?
Yeah, I did, man. I was scared.
I guess the Patriots are in there too.
Scared.
Gross.
I'm telling you, man, like there's just certain dudes that you see in the league that just got that aura. Jerry Rice is kind of like is like a gazelle or swan. When we saw him down at the Super Bowl, he walk in, head clean shave, suit just, you know what I'm saying? Well, he looked like he coming to, like you ain't paid your ties to the mob. Black trench coat, sitting in there, big old cigar. Like, what's up, man?
Yeah. Now, I remember afterwards now, I've got to hang out with him a couple of times, which I'll be going back again to John Stark's foundation.
Yeah.
And LT, he like you said, he has an amazing just aura and demeanor about him. Really, really good dude. But he plays golf in flip-flops.
Yeah.
Like he comes and mashes.
Oh, he's real good.
He's good.
He said that he took so much money from Jordan, he paid for his house down there.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, they say he can play though.
He in flip flops, my boy. The toe ones with the little,
not sandals.
Not sandals.
Yeah. No,
flip flops. Chocolates or whatever you want to chocolates. Yeah.
Grip it and rip it.
Man, just step up and bop bop. Thing you look up, you're like, good gosh.
All right, LT. We see you.
Yeah, with no athletes.
Just straight cigars.
Strick's other favorite.
That's it. Yeah, I'm gonna be on those too for sure.
It's funny, Jay, that you said Buffalo hands down because Strick and I both said the Texans for red, white, and blue. I think the Texans have used red the best.
Yeah, I was
of
about
any
to
of
say,
those. Like those red unis they have, even the chrome helmets.
The red unis I think the red uniforms for Houston are the best alternate ones in the league.
Buffalo's reds just make my eyes bleed.
Yeah, they're like
too
a fluorescent red.
Yeah,
but the Houston one, battle red. Hey,
is that what y'all call it?
Oh, that's what it is. And when you put that uniform on, it's on.
You feel like one of the 300.
Yeah.
Y'all
because here's the deal. This is Sparta, right? Hey, because Strick, you get everything new.
Yeah.
You get a new cleats because our regular uniforms are blue, like dark blue, navy blue, whatever. So your NFL rules, you still can wear your red, but nobody brought out them red Nikes or whatever until then. You get the red gloves and yeah. And then you got the different pants with it. Oh yeah, you fresh to death. Somebody get tore off in that game.
Which uniform for the Huskers do you like as far as their alternatives?
I'm gonna tell you what, man.
Because they throw some bull junk sometimes out there.
I think the Stormtrooper one the red one was the worst, but then I think they've gotten better. The only other one I didn't like is when the helmet was like it was white, but then it had like the old helmet kind of made into it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like the leather helmet on there, that one. But
Yeah.
I think the alternate uniforms are good. Even when they come out in the black. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, Drake. I wish when I played now, so we were winning. So the bad luck of the all white wouldn't have affected us. I wish
No?
you could. Straight, did you 94?
The all white?
Yeah, I guess Nebraska.
There was that all white. Yeah,
they haven't won in it, right? Or
Not in a while.
and they haven't played good.
I think the last time they won in the all whites was at Fresno, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but that doesn't really count. We're talking about when they brought them out against good teams. They just have. Yeah, see, I want that all white.
You like that all white?
I want that cocaine white.
The whites with like the duct tape numbers, the silver outline and the red numbers. I really like those.
I know you're gonna hate
those
this.
are sharp too.
I know you're gonna hate this, Jay. But Colorado's all black with that, bruh.
Gold helmet or black helmet?
With the gold helmet, with the all black.
Yeah,
that was and it had that silky kind of look to them. Those were back in the day clean, probably one of the cleanest I've seen.
Yeah, when Colorado went out, murdered out with their helmet, kind of like a crispy gold,
right?
Yeah. But I want Nebraska. I want Nebraska to go all black.
All black everything.
I wanted to
everything.
see that.
I would just straight up like
wait, no red in on the black helmet.
White. We just come straight prison like the longest yard with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Michael Irvin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember.
Black cleats, black socks, black tape, and just white numbers. That's it.
Oh shoot!
And then you have the skull and crossbones on there, and then the white end. You just know it's on.
It's on.
Yeah, and then I want Matt Rule to wear all black Adidas. Now, generally, when you on it, I learned this from my basketball players. That's when you wear the black Air Force Ones. That means you know when we used to play like Supreme or something, they were like, you gotta wear the black Air Force Ones.
Yeah, I actually liked our blacks when we wore our blacks in for basketball. I actually liked them. I thought they were dope.
In Nebraska?
Did it get you guys?
I had those.
Yeah, we had an all black one, and we were wearing Nikes back then, so we would have all black Nikes too. So we was straight blacked out with the like red Huskers. But
did it get you guys hyped though?
I liked them. Yeah,
I mean the team.
I was hyped.
Yeah. And alternate uniforms. Yeah, Buffalo's though I like Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Well, only uniform in Buffalo I didn't like is when they went to a darker blue. I forget who the coach was. Maybe it was probably like Rex Ryan or somebody up there. I didn't like those uniforms.
Didn't like those.
That's too close to the Patriots. If you're going darker.
Yeah, it didn't fit.
No. Oh yeah, yes, that was like the Ryan Fitzpatrick, JP Losman days.
I was about to say,
Marshawn Lynch, I think, was there in those.
Yeah, and he said, you know what? He probably left because of the uniforms. He said, "Y'all pulled me over." Hey, he got pulled over downtown Buffalo. He said, "The uniforms is whack. I'm out of here."
Yeah, those. Yeah, no, that ain't it.
Yeah,
that ain't it.
Yeah.
No. All right, NBA best red, white, and blue unis.
That's strict. Who's
no, we already talked about it, my boy.
Yeah,
who wears red, white?
We're thinking about the Pistons, the Wizards, the Clippers, and the Sixers off the top of our head.
The Pistons when they had Vinny, the Microwave, Johnson, and that one with the big Pistons there.
Yeah.
That's tough. That was.
I can feel you on that one.
With Lambeer, that was tough.
Mm-hmm.
That was tough looking. It was Detroit all the way too.
And see, when I think about that, I think about like the 04-05 teams. Rip, Sheed, Ben, Tayshaun. Billups was there for that team.
Yeah, it was tough. Larry Brown was the coach, right? Who Larry Brown?
Yeah.
He was the coach.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nice. Clayton Kershaw, 3,000th strikeout last night, all as a member of the Los Angeles Dodgers. One of those records, maybe someone else gets there, but your next closest are like Garrett Cole, who need another like 3 or 4 years of 200 strikeouts to get there. Skeens is on pace, but has to pick up the innings.
Does Screwball get there?
Oh, no. He's already 28. He's not going to pitch that long. Already has an arm injury. So I think that's another one of those guys that, I mean, Clayton Kershaw, when I think a lot of people, when they think of him, are going to think about the postseason, right? Oh, he never got it done. Oh, he was the one that constantly, blew the leads. I think Clayton Kershaw is probably the best pitcher of his generation. No disrespect to Verlander, no disrespect to Scherzer, but I'm taking Clayton Kershaw.
Wow.
In a heartbeat.
Wow.
I don't know.
I can't fight that.
I can't fight it, but I'm taking Scherzer though. Any dude that talks to him like he talks to himself like that, me and him is cool. And he got 2 different eye colors, so he just off.
He's off. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think with Clayton Kershaw, I think what people do, you look at the postseason, but they don't realize like he was losing games sometimes like 3-1, 2-1, and now granted he was very dominant. But I think as he's gotten older, he got better at. I think he sometimes psyched himself out, and also I think the teams that he was on is drastically different than what he's on right now. So you're not only carrying a load of I got to get the ball over the plate. We're going against great competition. I don't have the bats to really kind of get me through or get me a huge lead. Because one thing that Stricky, you could probably, and both of you guys can comment on, pitching in the playoffs with a lead versus every pitch is essentially
do or die
is a lot different.
Yeah.
And I think his that I think that played into him.
I'll phrase it this way. I don't think Dave Roberts did Clayton Kershaw's legacy any favors in the playoffs, because Roberts would always bring him in out of the bullpen. And on the one hand, you go to your best guy, right? I mean, Kershaw is clearly the best pitcher on the Dodgers, or at least he was in some of those moments. But I think that Dave Roberts wanted it so bad for Clayton Kershaw that instead of managing the moment, he managed to create a moment, right? I want to set my guy up to have this one moment to undo everything that everyone said about him.
Yeah.
And it's one thing when you're Madison Bumgarner on, maybe the best postseason, stretch of our lifetimes, right? Coming in out of the bullpen on short rest, no rest, shoving the way that he unfortunately did in 2014. It's tough to be able to do that. Kershaw, has his routines, has his schedule that he sticks to, threw a bunch of innings in the regular season. And then all of a sudden in a playoff series, you're going to say, trot out to the bullpen in a do or die game. Kershaw, we need you to come in and pitch. On the one hand, you're a pro, figure out a way to go do it. But I almost blame Dave Roberts for Clayton Kershaw's shortcomings, putting him in positions where he's not comfortable and where it's a stretch that he's going to be successful, just because he wanted him to have that moment to overcome some of those previous postseason shortcomings.
Yeah, I mean, it's commendable, but it probably wasn't the best common sense, and coaches that do that, and some coaches, and this is in any sport, do it for they want it for them. They want it for a player. Like I'm sure they wanted it really for Tony Dungy and then Peyton Manning, where they could never really beat the Patriots, and then they finally got over the hump. But maybe some of the coaching or the way they approached the previous matchups, it was too fixated on a small singular goal, or maybe too big of a singular goal when it should have been a sum of small singular goals.
Right.
And the one thing I can, kind of correlate to, Austin, is that, I guess, growing up a Vikings fan, obviously keeping track of the Vikings. And when Mike Zimmer was there, and this is in the football terms, whereas that everything that he did as a coach was to highlight or protect the defense. So you coach the game to make sure your defense
looks good.
Mm-hmm.
But the league was like, we need to score.
Right. They changed
so
right.
The same thing is like, all right, well, Clayton Kershaw in some of those playoff series, he would pitch a decent game, lose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you take a lot of hits, in the media or whatever. And then it's like, all right, let's get him back out there to give him a chance to not only redeem himself and win, but then get the just due that he could possibly get or could get. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. But it worked out for him. He got it. How many has he won? One?
How many?
World Series.
Yeah, just the one.
Just one, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure.
Well, the Dodgers have 2, right?
They got the bubble one, and then, so 2.
Yeah, so
yeah.
2, yeah. Hey, Strick.
The bubble one.
The 2020.
COVID.
Oh.
Did they got the asterisk too?
Yeah. Garbage. I ain't rolling.
Believe that, man.
I'm not rolling with bubbles.
Who won the Super Bowl during COVID? The Chiefs?
That was 2020 Super Bowl?
probably the
Or
Chiefs.
try 2021.
I ain't
No,
feeling it.
because the 2020 Super Bowl came down, happened right before, because that was in February and everything shut down in March. So then
Not feeling it.
2021, are we still counting that as a COVID Super Bowl? Because
No.
2020 Super
No.
Bowl happened
That's
right before. 2021 was Brady's ring in Tampa. So yes, asterisk.
Give it to him. I don't care.
System quarterback.
He ain't my guy.
I don't believe in the asterisk. I think you win a championship.
No.
You play in the games, you win. You can't dictate when and where you play when COVID hit. You really talking about?
Yep.
That's horrible.
Yep.
How much do you think the bubble helped Anthony Davis stay healthy in the 2020
Good
playoffs?
point. No, it's just I just think it's different.
To do. Like you go straight to the
Yeah, you just walk.
No, I'm saying
across
less time
the
getting
lawn.
off the airplane, cross country travel. I think that takes a toll on him.
On Anthony Davis?
On Anthony Davis, I think that's a big part of why.
That don't take no toll on him, man. His heart pump Kool-Aid. He got paid and he got happy.
I just think that that is an aspect of travel. The aspect of travel is not fully understood for what it does to what you have to prepare yourself for mentally. I think you've heard players talk about it. There's nothing like getting to a place, landing at 2-3 in the morning, and then having to get ready for what's about to happen. Now, obviously, the playoffs are a little bit different, but you still might have to go across. So you got to get readjusted to time zone changes, all of that. Sometimes different of the altitude. It's something.
It's not
something.
everything, but
it's not
something.
everything.
It's not
it's
everything.
something.
But
No.
the great thing about it, everybody was there. So there's no excuse.
No, that's another part. Everybody wasn't there.
Where were they at?
Because there was only a certain amount of teams that actually accepted. They all could have. I mean, all that were in the playoff run could have went, but all just did not go.
But whose fault is that?
Well, I'm just saying it's not legit.
So
that part.
Okay, so when they had shortened seasons, does that now?
I still think I think that works to the benefit of some teams. I didn't like it. I didn't like that San Antonio got credited for that.
For the lockout one?
Think about that.
Do you
Who does that help better in that situation? That helped New York. New York was able to make the kind of run with the Van Gundy era because it was a shortened season. That was a benefit for New York. That wasn't a benefit because if they go long season, they don't probably have the same amount of energy and all of that. It does benefit some people. I think it's a benefit. That's just my thought.
I think you got to win the games, and it was a unique circumstance.
I'm cool with that. I mean, I get it, but I'm just not going to also take away from the fact that there's some benefits to how I can help people. That's all. I'm not going to take the championships away from them. They won.
Okay, last thing before we let Tricky go hit up our boy Kendall Warnock at Day One Automotive. Jay, who's the best former number 1 overall pick that LeBron has played with?
In basketball?
In basketball.
Was Kyrie number 1?
Kyrie was number 1.
Oh, then that's it.
Not AD? Not your boy?
Kyrie. And they didn't even really play because Kyrie got bamboozled by Kobe and got a little attitude like a little punk little cousin. Talking about he want to go to Boston. Then you out there running around with incense. You want to lead the team. I'm coming back. Right to right to Brooklyn. Kyrie's the best one.
Rick and I land on AD.
My problem with Anthony Davis is this.
Let's not forget, this is the guy Jay just said 3 minutes ago has Kool-Aid running through his veins.
No, here's my problem with him. And this is once AD, before he got a championship, the answer is AD. Once he reached success, he done.
Disappeared.
My man came in 20 pounds. I don't understand as a basketball.
Right.
He's 7'8".
I feel you.
How you come in 20-some pounds overweight?
I ain't mad at you for that.
Right? And you 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
And you just won a championship. So
yeah, he was heavy.
Here's what I'm saying. Okay, you went later in the year because you won a championship, right? So then the season started on time the next year. So you have less time to be out of shape. So that means you actively work to be out of shape.
Good point.
And then you don't perform that year. And then you come back the next year and say, you know what? I don't touch a basketball for 3 months. and then you went and did it because I think the Lakers picked up somebody, and then you're like, all right, I got to start working. So everything you've done is circumstantial. And it's been, I remember the time he got bumped on his head and he was laid out on there and he was in the wheelchair talking about he was concussed. Did you remember that? Then the one time he had the thing. Remember the old show? My dad used to watch the show. Did your dad, Matt, used to watch MASH?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch MASH.
Remember when if they had a cut on their head, they put the little
thing around.
Remember when he had Anthony Davis had on it?
I do remember that.
Looked like Karate Kid.
I do remember that.
Or the dude from Martin. Remember what he
Dragonfly
Jones. That's what he looked like. I don't know. I mean, look, man. One thing I do realize is that when you're tall like that, like super tall, you are more brittle, and you do log a lot of miles on your joints and stuff. So I have to be more conscious of that. Yeah. But it's crazy though. When Akeem Olajuwon we used to go to the same dentist. He looked like he's still the same.
Yeah, even now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then I saw a picture or a video of Kevin Ali over there in wherever Bezos got married. He got the Kenny Smith going on. His legs, his knees is like.
Oh, you got the Kenny Smith going?
Yeah, he ain't even play.
You stupid dog.
I'm just telling, man. I shouldn't even be talking, man, because I got bad ankles, knees, hips, and everything.
Oh man, good stuff.
Let's take our final break of the show. We'll wrap up on the block after this.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Load up on meat and more this spring at The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese with great selections of T-bones, tomahawks, ribeyes, filet mignon, brisket, sirloin, and so much more. The Mercado has locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, where you can have $2 draft beer every Thursday night from 4 to 8 p.m. and half-price espresso drinks on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Get to The Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Make bill paying a breeze with Text to Pay. LES texts you 1 week before your bill's due date. Just reply to the text to pay. It's that easy. Log into your account at les.com to sign up today.
Is your child 7 to 8 years old and wanting to get involved in competitive baseball or softball? The Nebraska Dominators have been active in the youth sports community since 1994 and are currently holding tryouts for their 7U and 8U baseball and softball teams. Visit the Nebraska Dominators Facebook page for more info today and provide your player the path to a successful and enjoyable youth sports experience with the help of the Nebraska Dominators.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Hopefully you and I agree that you should do everything you can to save your marriage. Divorce is hard, expensive, and its outcome is usually not all you hope for. However, when doing everything has failed, when divorce remains as your last option, consider Cordell & Cordell as your first choice to help you through the divorce process to a better place on the other side. We've been a partner men can count on for more than 30 years. Let us be that partner for you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 402-858-3220. That's 402-858-3220. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln. 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Citizen soldier and veterans of the Army National Guard, you are invited to celebrate the 3rd of July at the Roca Tavern for a free concert by Sean Cole and the Drunk Monkeys. It all starts at 8 p.m., and it's sponsored by the City Car Wash on 3rd and Main in Hickman.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We are back one final time here during On Block. Austin Norman and Jay Foreman with you. Final segment of the show brought to you by Love Volleyball Omaha. Get your season tickets for the first time or renew them, LOVBOMA.com. Jay, the Kevin Durant trade on Sunday, when it will be officially official on the 6th, the new league year, is now going to be a 7-team trade. Largest trade in NBA history. Seems unnecessary.
It is, but it's probably for moving some money and contracts.
Probably.
So at the end of the day, Houston's fine bringing in 5 other people. As long as they get Kevin Durant, they've had a really good free agency offseason or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be interesting to see how they take, I think, the Houston Rockets are kind of like, like how we are here at Nebraska, right? And it's like you have a really good off season, I guess, on paper or whatever, and you've shown I call it tangible success and improvement. That means you've improved on the court for them and then for us on the field. And then you're in this gray area to where you do all the other stuff that you need to do, recruit and all that stuff with the transfer portal, whatever, free agency, draft, for the Rockets, retain guys, jettison 2 knuckleheads. So you're, promotion by demotion. And then you start to build the expectations, right? Which is more emotionally driven, in my opinion, while you're trying to keep the standard. And then you got to execute the standard with new pieces. Now, it's easier to do that with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant, one thing he's just a hooper. He don't really like to.
And a tweeter.
He'll take that. And then you know what? Down there with all that good food down in Houston, he won't gain any weight. I mean, look, I think for Kevin, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to say he's 7 feet tall. He is.
Truly.
But I think this is a team that where, how quickly OKC won the championship. Young group, looked like they could go on a 2 or 3 year run. All eyes are now in Houston. Houston has a great mix of young guys, or older guys, Van Fleet and obviously Kevin Durant.
Steven Adams still
there. And then you got just a plethora. I mean, we skipped over Thompson, Heyman.
Yeah.
Like it was, and he was probably, I could argue with you that he was the most consistent player in the playoffs. I mean, Jalen Green laid a couple eggs. Van Fleet had a really good game, but I'm just saying
Şengün was a little up and down.
Right. And that dude was what, 18? He was just playing in that. What is that little league he was playing in high school?
Overtime Elite.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know what that's all. Do you know what that is?
It was a prep school in Atlanta.
Overtime Elite is the name of the prep school.
Yeah.
Then what's the league they play in? And who do they play?
Well, I think it was just a bunch of different teams made up of kids at that academy, I thought. Okay. Or they went around and they played other prep schools.
Okay, so it's like they got a huge campus then.
Yeah, pretty big.
So you team one over there.
Something like that, yeah.
I never really understood it because you saw them and then you seen some other teams and I was like, they got 2 or 3. Because remember the 2 brothers? One was a real young kid and he became famous on the internet.
Yeah.
The white dude. But then the rest of the team looked like dudes we could get at
down the street. Literally. Yeah.
That couldn't have been a prep school, right?
That's what they built themselves as.
Yeah. And then they had a whole
it was more real than that Bishop Sycamore school.
That might be how I end up coaching. Coaching high school.
Yeah. Jay Foreman High.
Man. I wonder what it's like to coach high school, coach in general.
I mean, you do in basketball. Kind of.
That's more like babysitting. Even at 17. You babysit more at 17 than you do at like 10.
Can't wait to find out.
Don't do it, Austin.
I don't really have a choice at this point.
I'm just giving you some friendly advice. Don't do it.
Before we get out of here, Jay, ESPN had one of their writers go through every pick of the NFL draft in history and pick the best pick at each number.
Who was at 156?
Unfortunately, it was not you. I don't know.
Who is it?
Ed Newman.
Oh, hell no. Who the hell is Ed Newman?
Ed Newman started 113 games, played 167 in a 12-year NFL career with Miami from 73 to 84. Won the Super Bowl his first year, first team All-Pro his final year, 3-time second team All-Pro, 4-time Pro Bowler, Dolphins Walk of Fame, and 2-time first team All-ACC guy at Duke, offensive guard.
All right, I guess. Since he won a Super Bowl and all that stuff. All right,
Feel like he's a guard. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Come on now.
Come on.
But you know what? I will tell you, being picked that late and to play 12 years and do what he did, that's it. I tip my hat to him.
Back in the day, that was a 6th round pick.
Yeah, well, then I'll double tip my hat to him. I mean, look, that's for real. When you get picked that late, you do not have any leeway.
None.
Every day is game day.
Every second is game second.
Yes, sir. Every day is game day. Game day Jay. That's what they used to call me.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever need some beef, some motivation, Ed Newman.
I'm fine with that. Now, if you had some other dude that was a really scrub or something like that, then I would have to send a couple emails. Get on my Karen tip. I like to talk to the manager.
Give me your editor.
Yeah.
We're changing this article.
Yeah, I need the editor-in-chief or whatever.
You know who I am.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Durant.
I'm Kevin Durant. He's Jay Foreman / Kevin Durant / Ed Newman's #1 enemy. I'm Austin Norman. It'll be old school Foreman and Norman coming up after this.